सरस्वती गौरवाणी आचार्य ज्ञान विशेष शून्यभाव पाश्चात्य देशकाल श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास भक्त जय श्री कृष्ण प्रभु नित्यानंद श्रीवास भक्त हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय राधा चंद्र जय जगन्नाथ जगन्नाथ गौर हरि गौर हरि हरि गौर जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 गौर ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं कृष्ण नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत नष्टप्रायेषु भक्तेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवतिरुत्तमश्रीमते श्रीभगवती नष्टकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण विल कंटिन्यू
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी मतलब
हाँ आवाज आ रहा है
तो ये आवाज थोड़ा वॉल्यूम काफी लो आ रहा है बाकी डिवोटीज को भी लो आ रहा है क्या
हाँ ठीक है हो सकता है
ये
नहीं आ रहा है
आवाज नहीं आ रही है।
हाँ 2 मिनट रुको फिर भी शेयरिंग करो शेयर करके ही करो नेक्स्ट चैप्टर का, जो हमारा नेक्स्ट 21 श्लोक है।
यस प्रभु जी, कर दिया।
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय भक्तवृंद। अभी आवाज आ रहा है?
अभी भी लो है प्रभु जी, थोड़ा सा और बढ़ाने से अच्छा है।
हरे कृष्ण कैन यू हियर नाउ?
यस प्रभु जी।
सेम वॉल्यूम और बढ़ गया?
हाँ प्रभु जी, पहले से बढ़ गया।
मतलब नॉर्मल है ना?
ओके प्रभु जी। yes।
पहले जैसे आ रहा वैसा नहीं है ना? हरि बोल।
प्रभु जी अभी ठीक है।
नहीं नहीं, ठीक तो ये बहुत कम है। पहले जैसे मोबाइल से मैं करता था वैसा वैसा तो नहीं है ना? कम है ना थोड़ा?
हल्का कम है अभी, लेकिन ठीक लग रहा है प्रभु जी, मैंने कहा।
ठीक है। स्वयं तो साम्यातिशयस्त्रधीश स्वाराज्यलक्ष्म्या आप्त समस्त काम बलिं हरति लोकपाले किरीटकोट्टेडित पादपीठ।
Lord Shri Krishna is the Lord of all kinds of threes and is independently supreme by achievement of all kinds of fortune. He is worshipped by the eternal maintainers of the creation, who offer him the paraphernalia of worship by touching their millions of helmets to his feet. Purport: Lord Shri Krishna is so mild and merciful as described in the above verses, and yet he is the Lord of all kinds of threes. He is the supreme Lord of the three worlds, the three qualities of material nature, and the three Purushas, Karanadakshayi, Garbhodakshayi, and Kshirodakshayi Vishnu. There are innumerable universes, and in each and every universe, there are different manifestations of Brahma, Vishnu, and Rudra. Besides that, there is the Sheshamurti, who bears all the universes on his hoods, and Lord Krishna is the Lord of all of them. As the incarnation of Manu, he is the original source of all Manus in innumerable universes. Each universe has manifestations of 5,04,000 Manus. He is the Lord of the three principal potencies, namely Chita Shakti, Maya Shakti, and Tatastha Shakti. And he is the complete master of six kinds of fortune: wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. There is none who can excel him in any manner, in any matter of enjoyment, and certainly there is no one greater than him. No one is equal to or greater than him. It is the duty of everyone, whoever and wherever one may be, to surrender completely unto him. It is not wonderful, therefore, that all the transcendental controllers surrender to him and make all offerings of worship.
Okay, so the Lord of the Threes is the master of 3 words, material words. 3 words. Bhur Loka, Patal Loka. 3 qualities, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, Satvaguna. 3 Purushas, Karandakshay Vishnu, Garbhudakshay Vishnu, Shirodakshay Vishnu. Also Chit Shakti, Maya Shakti, Tatastha. So he is the Lord of all the 3. Whatever 3 exist. Trayadish. He is therefore called as the Trayadish. He is also the master of the 3 Kala, present, past, future. So now here, in 21 and 22, Uddhava is regretting how Lord Krishna is merciful. That although he is the master of everything, he is coming under control of Ugrasena, who is the devotee of Krishna. And that is the sweetness of Krishna, which is above his name called Trayadish. That is a very, very marvelous quality of Lord Krishna. Okay. Tatasya kainkarya malambratam viglapayatyaghna yadagrasenam tishtan shanam parameshtidishne nyabodhayatyeva nidharayete.
Therefore, O Vidur, does it not pain us, his servitors, when he remembers that he, Lord Krishna, used to stand before King Ugrasen, who was sitting on the royal throne, and used to submit explanations before him, saying, O my Lord, please let it be known to you. Purport: Lord Krishna's gentle behavior before his so-called superiors, such as his father, grandfather, and elder brother, his amiable behavior with his so-called wives, friends, and contemporaries, his behavior as a child before his mother Yashoda, and his naughty dealings with his young girl friends cannot bewilder a pure devotee like Uddhav. Others who are non-devotees are bewildered by such behavior of the Lord, who acted just like a human being. This bewilderment is explained by the Lord himself in the Bhagavad Gita 9.11 as follows. Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanumashritam param bhavam ajananto mam bhutam maheshwaram. Person with a poor fund of knowledge belittle the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, not knowing his exalted position as the Lord of everything. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord has explained his position clearly, but the demoniac atheist students squeeze out an interpretation to suit his own purpose and mislead unfortunate followers into the same mentality. Such unfortunate persons merely pick up some slogans from the great book of knowledge, but are unable to estimate the Lord as the supreme personality of Godhead. Pure devotees like Uddhav, however, are never misled by such atheistic opportunists.
So what are the slogan? Who can tell what are the slogan? Yatomat tatva tattvamasi tattvamasi. And you are that, you are that. I know. This is called as a Mayavad. Sharing nikal do. This is called as what? Mayavad. So if you can you remove the sharing? Sharing just don't. So मायावादी भाष्य होइला सर्वनाश. मायावादी भाष्य होइला सर्वनाश. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that when you hear the Mayavadi, everything is destroyed. Only the devotees like Lord Shiva can hear Mayavadi. So how many of you have heard the Premanand Maharaj lectures on YouTube? Honestly, हाथ कर ऊपर करो. सुना है कि नहीं? बहुत नंबर कितने लोगों ने मिस्टेक से सुना? कोई बताने वाला नहीं है. नहीं तो सुना नहीं क्योंकि मेरे पास यूट्यूब नहीं है. जिसके पास है
हरे कृष्णा.
सुना. हाँ
वो शॉर्ट क्लिप नहीं क्या, रील नहीं थे क्या, रील
देखो मेरे पास उनका एक वीडियो है जिसमें वो मायावाद बोलते हैं. दिखाओ क्या आपको, ताकि आपको कभी इच्छा नहीं होना चाहिए सुनने में. कि अभी मैं उनके मतलब मेरा मिशन वही है अभी, टू एस्टैब्लिश द सिद्धांत एंड टू कट द पीसेस ऑल दोस बोगस थिंग। हमारे इधर बरसाना में भी बहुत लोग सुन रहे हैं, जिसके पास मोबाइल है उसने सुना ही 100%। हाँ, तो देखो आपको क्या अभी काफी लेवल पे हो गया है। कृष्णानंद प्रभु को भी मैंने वीडियो फॉरवर्ड किया, बोले मुझे भी भेज, मुझे भी भेज। कि हाउ वन शुड बी केयरफुल। बाद में उसमें ज्यादा रिसर्च मत करने का प्रयास करना, तो आप चले जाओगे, है ना। आपको दिखाता हूँ, मुझे भी कुछ टाइम नहीं था, लेकिन मुझे प्रभु जी ने बोला जरा स्टडी करो क्या है, क्यों ऐसा सब हो रहा है। मायावाद कितना डेंजर होता है, दिख रहा है ना। आवाज शेयर करता हूँ।
भगवान में ही अपने आप हमारे दिखाई दे रहे था।
आवाज आ रहा है सबको?
आपने कार्तिक में ऐसा व्यक्त किया था कि जैसे नारायण नर बन सकता है, वैसे ही नर नारायण की रास्ता बन गया। और जी इसका भावार्थ क्या है वो देखो बात ये है, भगवान में ही अपने आप को हमारे जितने दिखाई दे रहे हैं ना, अपने आप को फैलाया है, समझ रहे हो। वासना वासुदेवस्य वासितम भुवनत्रयम सर्वभूत निवासोस्मि वासुदेव नमः। वासुदेव भगवान ने अपनी एक इच्छा प्रकट की कि मैं ही इतने सब रूपों में हो जाऊं, जैसे वेद में कहा गया है भम और श्यामा, तो बहुत रूपों में फैल गए। अब इस रूप में आकर हम भूल गए अपने आप को, अपने मनुष्य मानने लगे, स्त्री मानने लगे, पुरुष। देह तज धरि हरि रूपा, इस रूप में भगवान को प्राप्त हुआ, हरि रूप हुआ ना, आया ना रामायण। गीत देह तज धरि हरि रूपा, एक जगह आया है कि मम दर्शन फल परम अनुपा और जीव पाव निज सहज स्वरूप। वो सहज स्वरूप जानते हो क्या है? हरि आत्मा। देखो इस चौपाई का मनन करे, बहुत मनन से ही समझ में आएगा। सोई जाने जेहि देहु जनाई, तो जानत तुम्हें तुम्हें। अब उसका मतलब समझिए ना, वो भगवत स्वरूप हो जाता है। तो नर जो बना हुआ है वो अंदर में नारायण ही है, वो अपने को भूल करके नर शरीर में, जब कुत्ता बने तो कुत्ते शरीर में तन्मयता। हम इसका बहुत सरल उदाहरण देते हैं कि जब आदमी रिक्शा चलाता है, उसको बोले ए रिक्शा, खड़ा हो जाएगा। कुछ दिन बाद वो टैक्सी ले ले, तो आप उसको बोले एक रिक्शा नहीं खड़ा होगा, अब उसको बोले ए टैक्सी, खड़ा हो जाए। क्या वो रिक्शा है? क्या वो टैक्सी है? पर वो उसका चालक होकर इतना तन्मय है कि उसको बोला जाता है रिक्शा, ए रिक्शा, तो खड़ा हो जाएगा। जी बोलिए, वो रिक्शा है, उसका नाम रिक्शा है। अगर सही ढंग से देखो तो रिक्शा उसकी गाड़ी है, वो थोड़ी है। तो ए पुरुष, ये गाड़ी है, हम खड़े हो गए। स्त्री, ये गाड़ी है, खड़े हो गए। बिल्कुल अज्ञान की तरह, ना कोई स्त्री है ना कोई पुरुष है, अंदर वही नारायण है। तो जो है वही है। जब आप अपने स्वरूप की तरफ बढ़ेंगे तो वही है, जानत तुम्हें तुम्हें। तो अब ये अज्ञानी जन थोड़ी सब कि मनुष्य कैसे नारायण हो सकता है, नारायण कैसे हो नहीं सकता, वो है। वो स्वामी तुलसीदास जी का वचन अगर मनन करो बहुत सरल भाषा में, इसलिए हम रामायण का उदाहरण देते हैं। जब उनको
आई थिंक दैट इज सफिशिएंट फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड। ये पूरा लेक्चर उसी के ऊपर है। अभी देखने का प्रयास मत कीजिए, अननेसेसरी फंस जाओगे। तो इसलिए हमें बहुत केयरफुल होना चाहिए कि कौन व्यक्ति क्या बोल रहा है, कितना। यूट्यूब में जिसके ज्यादा फॉलोअर है मतलब हमें उसको सुनना नहीं है, नहीं तो हमारा डेस्टिनेशन मिस्टेक हो जाए, हम सबसे अनफॉर्चुनेट बन जाएंगे। जो चैतन्य मतलब हमको देने को आएंगे हम उसको भूल जाएंगे। कभी भी राधा कृष्ण का दर्शन लेते हो ना, राधा कृष्ण का दर्शन मत लेना, उसके नीचे बैठे हुए जो आचार्य है ना उनका दर्शन लेना। भक्तिविनोद ठाकुर, गौर किशोरदास बाबा जी महाराज, आप उधर कभी जा नहीं सकते। कोई व्यक्ति बोलता है कि आई विल प्रे टू राधा रानी, ही इज फूल। He is insane person. One cannot approach Radha without the mercy of Swarup Damodar Goswami, without the mercy of Rupa Goswami. That is the only way. Otherwise, it is just an emotional or sentimental person. You understand the philosophy that nobody can approach Radharani directly. Even if you approach, if she is merciful, he will hand over this person to her Parshad. And he is thinking, no, only Radharani, he is a mad person. Never, he is like doing a theory. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, if anybody is trying to approach me, he is a thief. Because I am the property of Nityananda Prabhu. Similarly, Srimati Radharani is the property of the Sakhi and the Manjari. We cannot approach. So don't go after emotion. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur was such a great Manjari. But what philosophical lecture he gave? 4 hours morning, 4 hours evening. Only philosophy. Internal emotion in your showed to the people. Materialist people, how they will understand? But the lust will come. Radha Krishna pastime, lust will come. Better you hear the basic philosophy. क्लियर हो गया आपका? कोई प्रश्न है तो कृपया अभी मत सुनना, कोई इधर तक नहीं. ISKCON डिवोटी प्रॉपर, और वो भी आपके काउंसलर को पूछ के सुनना चाहिए. भक्ति प्रोसेस यूट्यूब से लेक्चर सुन के आगे जाने वाली नहीं. आपके जो भी शिक्षा गुरु है, दीक्षा गुरु तो शिक्षा गुरु, उनको पूछ के हमें क्या सुनना चाहिए, है ना. स्वरूप रूप शिक्षा में महाप्रभु कितना केयरफुली गाइड करते, गोस्वामी को कैसे कैसे भक्तिलता दे जाता है, कितना केयरफुल गाइडेंस चाहिए उसके लिए. पिन पॉइंटेड इंस्ट्रक्शन फॉर एवरी साधक. Every sadhaka, all instruction. Therefore, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said that I want to talk to each person separately, because each person is different. My one lecture will not suffice. I want to talk to each person. He will spend 4 hours, one person preaching to them. Okay, next. तुम्हारा बात समझ गया ना कितना खतरनाक मेरा हो. शेयर करेंगे, शेयर कर रहे हैं. Now this is a famous word. किसी का तो डबल है. So now this is the verse which was when upon hearing Shukdev Goswami, he came back to the ashram of Vyasdeva. Earlier left the ashram. 2 verses, this and one more, Barha Pidam. Aho pakiyam sanakala kutam jighansaya paya prasavri lebe gatim latim chitantaronyam tam vadayanam sharanam brajema. Famous verse.
Allah, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than he, who granted the position of mother to a she-demon, Putna, although she was unfaithful and she prepared deadly poison to be sucked from her breast. Purpose. Here is an example of the extreme mercy of the Lord, even to his enemies. It is said that a noble man accepts the good qualities of a person of doubtful character, just as one accepts a nectar from a stalk of poison. In his babyhood, he was administered deadly poison by Putna, a she-demon who tried to kill the wonderful baby. And because she was a demon, it was impossible for her to know that the Supreme Lord, even though playing the part of a baby, was no one less than the same Supreme Personality of Godhead. His value as the Supreme Lord did not diminish upon his becoming a baby to please his devotee Yashoda. The Lord may assume the form of a baby or a shape other than that of human being, but it doesn't make the slightest difference. He is always the same Supreme. A living creature, however powerful he may become by dint of severe penance, can never become equal to the Supreme Lord. Lord Krishna accepted the motherhood of Putna because she pretended to be an affectionate mother, allowing Krishna to suffer best. The Lord accepts the least qualification of the living entity and awards him the highest reward. That is the standard of his character. Therefore, who but the Lord can be ultimate helper?
So here, because Putna had the slight desire to be mother of Krishna, according to Acharya, either she was the Bali Maharaja's Patni or sister, Vindravani, who after seeing Bali Maharaj thought, Vamandev, wow, such a nice child. I want to keep him as a child. And when he expanded, she said, oh, I want to kill him. So therefore she became Putana. But because she had the slight desire to become the mother of the Krishna, she imitated it. And therefore she achieved the level of Ambika and Kilimba, who are the nurses of Krishna. This Ambika and Kilimba are the servant of Yashoda. They act as they also give milk to Krishna, but not exactly mother, but nurse. So Krishna promoted her to that position. Same Agasur also. Agasur also Krishna gave position Sarupya Mukti. Because when he saw Krishna playing with coward boys, he became affectionate. He developed some attraction for Krishna. And Lord took that one. Not like Shishupal. Shishupal, not Shishupal. But for Agasura Putna, he gave that mercy. Because for some slight amount of time, they became favorable to Lord. They liked the Lord's pastime. Next verse. Manne suram bhagavatakadishe sarram mamagabhi nivishta chityan ye sanyuge chakshatatakshaputram amse sunabhayudha ma patantam.
I consider the demons who are inimical toward the Lord to be more than the devotees because while fighting with the Lord, absorbed in thoughts of enmity, they are able to see the Lord carried on the shoulder of Garuda, the son of Kashyapa, and carrying the winged weapon in his hand. The Asuras who fought against the Lord face to face got salvation due to their being killed by the Lord. This salvation of the demons is not due to their being devotees of the Lord. It is because of the Lord's causeless mercy. Anyone who is slightly in touch with the Lord, somehow or other, is greatly benefited, even to the point of salvation, due to the excellence of the Lord. He is so kind that he awards salvation even to his enemies, because they come in contact with him and are indirectly absorbed in him by the inimical thoughts. Actually, the demons can never be equal to the pure devotee. But Uddhava was thinking in that way because of his feelings of separation. He was thinking that at the last stage of his life, he might not be able to see the Lord face to face as did the demons. The fact is that the devotees who are always engaged in the devotional service of the Lord in transcendental love are rewarded many hundreds and thousands of times more than the demons by being elevated to the spiritual planet where they remain with the Lord in eternal blissful existence. The demons and impersonalists are awarded the faculty of merging in the Brahma Jyoti, the presence of the Lord, whereas the devotees are admitted into a spiritual planet. For comparison, one can just imagine the difference between floating in space and residing in one of the planets in the sky. The pleasure of the living entities on the planet is greater than that of those who have no body and who merge with the molecules of the sun's rays. The impersonalists, therefore, are no more favored than the enemies of the Lord. Rather, they are both in the same level of spiritual salvation.
So, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that one should not think that this is the conclusion. What Uddhava is telling that, these demons are more important. No, that is because of Uddhava's humility and extreme intense love. He is thinking that, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Yuga, Durdava Mid Deshamihadani Nanura. I am the most unfortunate person. And that is out of intense love. Similarly, Prabhupada always says that The demons and the devotees will never attain the same destination. And therefore, our definition of Anya Abhilashtha Shanyam Jnana Karma Dhyanavatam Anukulena Krishnanu Shilanam Bhakti. Uttama Bhakti is not this demon's Bhakti. Anushilanam, favorably disposed for pleasing Krishna. Favorably disposed. Anukulena, not Patikulena. Yes, now Prabhupada clarifies that these demonic people will get what? Impersonal Brahmaja. So we don't want that. No, Putana, that is extraordinary mercy because Putana had some affection. So Krishna gave. But not to the all demons. Not. Some only. Because that is Krishna, he can do anything. To show that how Krishna is more merciful, he is speaking like that. Now, from here onwards, now what happened? Because Yudoji has asked about what welfare of Lord Krishna. Uddhav cannot give him the sad news immediately. So now what he will do? He will start glorifying Krishna's pastime in Vrindavan out of Vrindavan. And at the end, he will give answer that Lord Krishna disappeared. So that is the sensitivity of Uddhav. Now you can see how he talks. He will talk now remembering Sri Krishna. Vasudevasya devakyam jato bhojendra bandhane chikirshuddha bhagavanasya shamajena vidyachitaha.
The personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, being prayed to by Brahma to bring welfare to the earth, was begotten by Vasudev in the womb of his wife Devaki in the prison of the king of Bhoja. Purport. Although there is no difference between the Lord pastimes of appearance and disappearance, the devotee of the Lord do not generally discuss the subject matter of his disappearance. Vidura inquired indirectly from Uddhava about the incident of the Lord's disappearance by asking him to relate Krishna Katha or topics of the history of Lord Krishna. Thus Uddhava began the topics of from the very beginning of his appearance as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki in the prison of Kamsa, the king of the Bhojas at Mathura. The Lord has no business in the world, but when he is so requested by devotees like Brahma, he descends to the earth for the welfare of the entire universe. This is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam dharma sansapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge.
Therefore, we don't celebrate Lord's disappearance. But Acharya's appearance and disappearance. Lord's only what we celebrate? Appearance. Not because devotee doesn't want the Lord to disappear. Lord never disappears on the vision of the pure devotee. Premanjana Churita Bhaktivedanta Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. Next. Tato Nanda Vajam Ita Pitra Kansadi Vipyata Ekadasha Sama Pitra Gudhachi Samlovasa. What
Thereafter, his father, being afraid of Kamsa, brought him to the cow pasture of Maharaj Nanda, and there he lived for 11 years like a covered flame with his elder brother Baldeva. There was no necessity of the Lord's being dispatched to the house of Nanda Maharaj out of fear of Kamsa determination to kill him as soon as he appeared. It is the business of the Asuras to try to kill the Supreme Personality of Godhead or to prove by all means that there is no God or that Krishna is an ordinary human being and not God. Lord Krishna is not affected by such determination of men of Kans class. But in order to play the role of a child, he agreed to be carried by his father to the cow pastures of Nanda Maharaja because Vasudeva was afraid of Kamsa. Nanda Maharaj was due to receive him as his child, and Yashoda Mai was also to enjoy the childhood pastimes of the Lord, and therefore to fulfill everyone's desire. He was carried from Mathura to Vrindavan just after his appearance in the prison house of Kamsa. He lived there for 11 years and completed all his fascinating pastimes of childhood, boyhood, and adolescence with his elder brother. Lord Baldeva, his first expansion, Vasudeva thought of protecting Krishna from the wrath of Kamsa is part of a transcendental relationship. The Lord enjoys more when someone takes him as his subordinate son who needs the protection of a father than he does when someone accepts him as the Supreme Lord. He is the father of everyone and he protects everyone, his but when
his devotee takes it for granted. दिखा उनको काम पे
highlight but when his devotee takes it for granted that the Lord is to be protected by the devotee's care, it is a transcendental joy for the Lord. Thus, when Vasudeva, out of fear Kamsa, carried him to Vrindavan, the Lord enjoyed it. Otherwise, he had no fear from Kamsa or anyone else.
Okay, the Lord doesn't have any fear, but he always wants to reciprocate with devotee. Like how Prabhupada came to Krishna. Krishna came to Prabhupada. First Jagannath came, then Baldev came, then Subhadra came. So it doesn't happen just like that. The Lord is always playing with the devotee, increasing his affection, not like a normal routine way. Yashoda, Vasudeva, Devaki, everything is fascinated. How Krishna, and therefore in Golok Vrindavan every day is a fascinated day. Nothing is same. Similarly, when Prabhupada was there, whenever the association of Prabhupada was like a spiritual world. Every moment you don't know what will happen. That was Prabhupada. Like just he's like Krishna's quality only. He's coming with Krishna only. So like that he will create the atmosphere. Impossible thing can happen, simple thing can happen, Prabhupada becomes joyful. So everybody was fascinated. So here, covered flame. The word is used what? Covered flame. Good archi, covered fire. Because Lord's supremacy was covered in the Vraja with the sweetness of the Lord. In Vrindavan, nobody knew. Kansa also was not able to understand. Because of the Krishna's sweetness, he covered the Krishna's greatness. Therefore, it is compared as a covered fire or covered with the flame, smoke. Next. Parito vasapairvasans charayan vivaratibu yamunopavane kuvyat dveja sankulitang ripe.
Translation. In his childhood, the Almighty Lord was surrounded by cowherd boys and calves, and thus he travelled on the shore of the Yamuna River. Though garden densely covered with trees, filled with vibrations of chirping birds. Purpose. Nanda Maharaj was the landholder of King Kamsa, but because by caste he was a Vaishya, member of the mercantile and agriculture community, he maintained thousands of cows. It is the duty of the Vaishyas to give protection to the cows, just as the Kshatriyas are to give protection to human beings. Because the Lord was a child, he was put in charge of the cows with these covered bodies. This covered
Maybe a minute over.
previous. play with him on equal. Such coward was never cared to know who Krishna was, but they played with him as a most intimate and lovable friend. They were so fond of the Lord that at night they could only think of the next morning when they were to meet the Lord. And are all beautiful gardens full of trees of mangoes, jackfruit, apples, guava, oranges, grapes, berries, palm fruit, and so many other plants and fragrant flowers. And because the forest was up, great and to talk in the branches of the trees. All these trees and birds and beasts were pious living entities born in the transcendental abode of Vrindavan, just to give pleasure to the Lord and his eternal associates, the coward boys. When playing like a small child, Rishi said, the Lord killed many demons. Although he appeared at Vrindavan just as a boy, he was actually like the coward flames of a fire. As a small particle of fire can kindle a great fire with fuel. So the Lord killed all these great demons, beginning from his babyhood in his house of Nanda Maharaj, the land of Vrindavan. Playground still remains today, and anyone who visits these places enjoys the same transcendental bliss.
बैकग्राउंड में आवाज किसका आ रहा है? उसको म्यूट करो ना, कब से रीडिंग में डिस्टर्ब हो रहा
मुझे
हाँ।
कोई फोन आ रहा था इसलिए तो
ओके।
नीचे का थोड़ा हरी बोल लास्ट पैराग्राफ
ऊपर करो बाबा, ऊपर करो ना उसको। क्या हो रहा है? गो अप ना। अनुज वो है ना?
हाँ अनुज
अनुज वो स्क्रीन को ऊपर करो। आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा, आप म्यूट हो। क्या हो गया हमको? एक मिनट। FB32 हाँ, आपका हैंग हो गया क्या? हाँ, मैं कर रहा हूँ कर रहा हूँ।
Shall I read from book?
हाँ, रीड करो।
Yeah. While playing like a small child with his associates, the Lord killed many demons, including Aghasur, Bakasur, Pralambasur, and Gardabhasur. Although he appeared at Vrindavan just as a boy, he was actually like the covered flames of a fire. As a small particle of fire can kindle a great fire with fuel, so the Lord killed all these great demons, beginning from his babyhood in the house of Nanda Maharaj. The land of Vrindavan, the Lord's childhood playground, still remains today, and anyone who visits these places enjoys the same transcendental bliss, although the Lord is not physically visible to our imperfect eyes. Lord Chaitanya recommended this land of Lord as identical with the Lord and therefore worshipable by the devotees. This instruction is taken up especially by the followers of Lord Chaitanya, known as the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, And because the land is identical with the Lord, devotees like Uddhava and Vidura visited these places 5,000 years ago in order to have direct contact with the Lord, visible or not visible. Thousands of devotees of the Lord are still wandering in these sacred places of Vrindavan, and all of them are preparing themselves to go back home, back to Godhead.
Wow. So in first paragraph, Prabhupada talks about the Gopals. Ittham satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam paradevatena maya chitanam naradarakena sakam vijannum kitapunya vanja. So Shukdev Goswami says that how much spiritual credits these poets have accumulated, that they are playing with Lord Krishna. They are playing with the Lord Krishna. What kind of extraordinary merit they have. And now again, Prabhupada is slowly glorifying entire Vrindavan. This is Prabhupada's heart. Now one may say, Prabhupada doesn't show any ecstasy, he looks very serious. Only talks about soul. But what is written here? See? That is his heart. He is seriously preparing us. That in Vrindavan, there are millions of devotees. And therefore, we always chant Vrindavan Dham ki jai. So Vrindavan Dham, Lord Krishna, both are same. Jagannath Puri, Jagannath, Lord, both are same. That is a quality, but it is not a Mayavad. It is not a Maya. Exactly, because the moment you go there, you get remembrance of Krishna. So what example we can use is like a rod. Hot, the iron rod, when you put into the fire, it gets the quality of fire.
आवाज नहीं येते.
आवाज नहीं? म्यूट है क्या?
नहीं आ रहा है प्रभु जी, आवाज आ रहा है.
हाँ. So iron rod, when you put into the fire, it's become fiery, but not fire. So this is called as what? Achinti Bheda Bheda philosophy. That we are equal with God, but we are also not equal with God. So there our philosophy is the perfect, not Advaitavad and not Dvaitavad, but the Achinti Bheda Bheda philosophy. Clear? So therefore, similarly, Lord Krishna and Vrindavan, both are same and different. Like Jagannath Puri also. You can't expect the Dham to eat. That is the quality of Krishna. Quality of Jagannath. Okay? So this is a wonderful purpose. They are preparing to go back to the spiritual world. They give up all the luxurious things. They are just now, I want to go back to God. Similarly, at a certain time, when after 50 years, Vanaprastha, we have to prepare. Prabhupada says that one person must give some time of his year. That is actually Vanaprastha. So therefore, His Holiness Mahavishnu Maharaj says that arrange and be happy. Arrange your life in a proper way so that you can take up Vanaprastha, morning, evening chant Bhagavatam, Mangalarti, associate with the devotee, hear free. But for that you have to arrange. You can't just imitate immediately, I want to do that. So you can't do anything. This also, that also. Nothing. Next. मेरा ही मुझे अनुशु आपका स्क्रीन आ गया क्या?
हाँ प्रभु जी, मैंने मोबाइल पे ज्वाइन किया, मेरे लैपटॉप पे
ठीक है.
नहीं हो रहा है.
कुमारीं दर्शयन् श्रेष्ठां प्रेक्षणीयां वचोकसां रुद्रन्निव हसन् मुग्धा बालसिंहावलोकना. और किसी के पास ये है क्या, लैपटॉप है क्या, उसको राइट दे सकते हैं ना? किसके पास लैपटॉप है जो शेयर कर सकता है?
कोई भी शेयर कर सकते हैं, राइट है क्या?
हाँ तो कर सकते, कोई करना चाहेंगे. मुझे दोनों चीज नहीं होगी. लैपटॉप किसके पास है? किसी के पास नहीं है. आवाज आ रहा है क्या?
प्रभु जी 2 मिनट, मैं दूसरे लैपटॉप से करता हूँ.
नहीं, छोड़ दो, समय बर्बाद मत करो. पढ़ो. नेक्स्ट डिवोटी कौन है पढ़ो?
Hare Krishna. Translation. When the Lord displays activities just suitable for childhood, he was visible only to the residents of Vrindavan. Sometimes he would cry, sometimes he laugh, just like a child, and while so doing, he would appear like a lion cub. Purport. If anyone wants to enjoy the childhood pastimes of the Lord, then he has to follow in the footsteps of residents of Raja, like Nanda, Upananda, and other parental inhabitants. A child may insist on having something and cry like anything to get it, disturbing and whole neighborhood. And then immediately after achieving the desired thing, he laughs. Such crying and laughing is enjoyable to the parents and elderly members of the family. So the Lord would simultaneously cry and laugh in this way and merge his devotee parents in the humor of transcendental pleasure. These incidents are enjoyable only by the residents of Raja like Nanda Maharaj and not by impersonalist worshippers of the Raman or Paramatma. Sometimes when attacked in the forest by demons, Krishna would appear struck with wonder, but he looked on them like the cub of a lion and killed them. His childhood companions would also be struck with wonders, and when they came back home, they would narrate the story to their parents, and everyone would appreciate the qualities of their Krishna. Child Krishna did not belong only to his parents, Nanda and Yashoda. He was the son of all the elderly inhabitants of Vrindavana and the friend of all contemporary boys and girls. Everyone loved Krishna. He was the life and soul of everyone, including the animals, the cows, and the calves.
So Prabhupada is Brajavasi, and he is telling exactly what is happening in Vrindavan. So when you read this Prabhupada's purpose, you get the direct glimpse of the Vrindavan. He is revealing us the Vrindavan. He is our path back to the Vrindavan. So this is Prabhupada's personal ecstasy. Prabhupada said, my books are my personal ecstasy. That's personal ecstasy. He may be doing so much management, but he says, my heart is always in Vrindavan. Sa eva godhanam lakshmyam niketam chitago vrisham charayan anugan gopan ranatvenur Ramat.
Hare Krishna. While herding the very beautiful bulls, the Lord, who was the reservoir of opulence and fortune, used to blow his flute, and thus he enlivened his faithful followers, the cowherd boys. Purport. As he grew to 6 and 7 years old, the Lord was given charge of looking after the cows and bulls in the grazing grounds. He was the son of a well-to-do landholder who owned hundreds and thousands of cows. And according to Vedic economics, one is considered to be a rich man by the strength of his store of grains and cows. With only those two things, cows and grains, humanity can solve its eating problem. Human society needs only sufficient grains and sufficient cow to solve the economic problem. All other things but these two are the artificial necessities created by man to kill his valuable life at the human level and waste his time in the things which are not needed. Lord Krishna, as the teacher of human society, personally showed by his acts that the mercantile community or the Vaishyas should herd cows and bulls, thus give protection to the valuable animals. According to Smriti regulations, the cow is mother and bull is the father of human being. The cow is the mother because just as one sucks the breast of one's mother, human society takes cow milk. Similarly, the bull is the father of human society because the father earns for the children, just as the bull tills the ground to produce food grains. Human society will kill its spirit of life by killing the father and the mother. It is mentioned here that the beautiful cows and the bulls wear various checkered colors, red, black, green, yellow, ash, etc. And because of their colors and healthy smiling features, the atmosphere was enlivening. Over the above all, the Lord used to play his celebrated flute. The sound vibrated by his flute would give his friends such transcendental pleasure that they would forget all the talks of the Brahmananda, which is so praised by the impersonist. This cowherd boy, as will be explained by the Shukdeva Goswami, were living entities who had accumulated heaps of pious acts and thus were enjoying with the Lord in person and were hearing his transcendental flute. The Brahma Samhita confirms the Lord's blowing his transcendental flute. Venu Panantam Aravind Dalayataksam Varhamatam Samasita Buddha Sundarangam Kandarbhakoti Kamanindya Sheshta Shobham Govindamadi Purusham
Tamaham Bhajam.
Brahma ji said, I worship Govinda, the perennial Lord, who plays on his transcendental flute. His eyes are like lotus flowers. He is decorated with peacock plumes, and his body color resembles as a fresh black cloud, although his bodily features are more beautiful than millions of cupids. These are the special features of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
These are all sweet pastimes Prabhupada is revealing in this purpose. One can again and again read it. It is nothing but the Krishna book in a nutshell. And Prabhupada also gives some tips that human society needs only sufficient grain and sufficient cows. Even these fruits, they are not much required. If somebody has a land, cow, bull, you can get the grains and you get the milk. Of course, when you have land, you can grow anything, vegetable, fruits, sabji, and by the gobar ash. The cow dung is used as a natural fertilizer, not artificial fertilizer. And then you get the milk of the cow. So therefore, earlier, whoever had more cows, he was more rich, cow and land. So that Prabhupada is solving the economic problem in those societies. Okay. Pariyuktan, next. I have to read.
I can share now.
हाँ ठीक है बचा के 300 का कर दो प्रयुक्तान भोजराजेन मायिनः कामरूपिणः लीलया विनुतत्तांस्तान् बालः क्रीडनकानिव. पढ़िए नेक्स्ट.
Translation: The great wizards who were able to assume any form were engaged by the king of Bhoja, Kamsa, to kill Krishna, but in the course of his pastimes, the Lord killed them as easily as a child breaks dolls. Purport: The atheist Kamsa wanted to kill Krishna just after his birth. He failed to do so, but later on he got information that Krishna was living in Vrindavan at the house of Nanda Maharaj. He therefore engaged many wizards who could perform wonderful acts and assume any form they liked. All of them appeared before the child Lord in various forms like Agha, Baka, Putana, Shakata, Trunavarta, Dhanuka, and Gardhava, and they tried to kill the Lord at every opportunity. But one after another, all of them were killed by the Lord as if he were only playing with dolls. Children play with uh, toy lions, elephants, boars, and many similar dolls, which are broken by the children in the course of their playing with them. Before the Almighty Lord, any powerful living being is just like a toy lion in the hands of a playing child. No one can excel God in any capacity, and therefore no one can be equal to or greater than him, nor can anyone attain the stage of equality with God by any kind of endeavor. Jnana, Yoga, and Bhakti are three recognized processes of spiritual realization. The perfection of such processes can lead one to the desired goal of life in spiritual value, but that does not mean that one can attain a perfection equal to the Lord's by such endeavors. The Lord is the Lord at every stage. When he was playing just like a child on the lap of his mother Yashoda Mai, or just like a cowherd boy with his transcendental friends, he continued to remain God without the slightest diminution of his six opulences. Thus, he is always unrivaled.
Wow. मायावादी philosophy कितना ridiculous है, because they want to become God. Okay, what will you do by becoming God? Means you will merge into God, but your life will be dry. Here, you can play with God every day. Different leelas with God. There is nothing like misery in that much. No misery there. No day and night. No time is surpassing you, chasing you. Only Kevala Ananda Kanda. But only one thing, that we must realize that we are always the servant of Krishna. We never want to become God. So this is a suicide when you want to become the God or merge into God. It is actually spiritual suicide. What kind of philosophy is it? That you remain in the body of the Lord. So what will happen by that? Boring. So Mayavad is nothing but boring. But so danger. And you also can become God. You are God. But जैसे मैंने सुना तो it's a disgusting philosophy. ठीक है, भगवान मन के करेंगे क्या? ब्रह्म ज्योति में लीला के करेंगे क्या? ऐसे भगवान कैसे लीला कर सकते हो क्या? भगवान के प्लेट से खाना चुराएंगे, चले बोले लड्डू खाए श्री मधु छल करके भगवान के प्लेट से लड्डू खा, किसी को पता नहीं चल रहा है भगवान हो के, तो क्या मजा ही मजा। विपन्नां विषपानेन निगृह्य भुजगाधिपम् उत्थाप्याय गत्यावान् ततोऽयं प्रकृतिस्थितम्। आवाज आ रहा है?
कौन पढ़ रहा है? आवाज नहीं आ रहा है।
आवाज very
मुझे
slow आ रहा है।
नहीं आ रहा।
हेडफोन कनेक्ट नहीं हुआ।
Unable to hear.
दूसरा कोई पढ़ लो।
मतलब जी मैं अभी पढ़ता हूँ, अब तब तक फिक्स कीजिए। The inhabitants of Vrindavan were perplexed by great difficulties because a certain portion of the Yamuna was poisoned by the chief of the reptiles, Kaliya. The Lord chastised the snake king within the water and drove him away. And after coming out of the river, he caused the cows to drink the water and proved that the water was again in its natural state.
Next. अयाजयद दोषवेन गोपराजं द्विजोत्तमः वित्तस्य चोरुभारस्य चिकीर्षन् सत्यं विभुः। पढ़े।
The Supreme Lord Krishna desired to utilize the opulent financial strength of Maharaj Nanda for worship of the cows, and also he wanted to give a lesson to Indra, the king of heaven. Thus he advised his father to perform worship of Go, or the pasturing land and the cows, with the help of learned Brahmanas. Purport. Since he is the teacher of everyone, the Lord also taught his father, Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj was a well-to-do landholder and owner of many cows, and as was the custom, he used to perform yearly worship of Indra, the king of heaven, with great opulence. This worship of demigods by the general populace is also advised in the Vedic literature, just so people can accept the superior power of the Lord. The demigods are servants of the Lord, deputed to look after the management of various activities of universal affairs. Therefore, it is advised in the Vedic scriptures that one should perform yajnas to appease the demigods. But one who is devoted to the Supreme Lord has no need to appease the demigods. Worship of the demigods by common people is an arrangement for acknowledging the supremacy of the Supreme Lord. But it is not necessary. Such appeasement is generally recommended for material gains only. As we have already discussed in the second canto of this literature, one who admits the supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not need to worship the secondary demigods, sometimes being worshipped and adored by less intelligent living beings. The demigods become puffed up with power and forget the supremacy of the Lord. This happened when Lord Krishna was present in the universe, and thus the Lord wanted to give a lesson to the king of heaven, Indra. He therefore asked Maharaj Nanda to stop the sacrifice offered to Indra and to use the money properly by performing a ceremony worshipping the cows and the pasturing ground on the hill of Govardhan. By this act, Lord Krishna taught human society, as he has instructed in the Bhagavad Gita also, that one should worship the Supreme Lord by all acts and by all their results. That will bring about the desired success. The Vaishyas are specifically advised to give protection to the cows and their pasturing ground or agricultural land instead of squandering their hard-earned money. That will satisfy the Lord. The perfection of one's occupational duty, whether in the sphere of duty to oneself, one's community, or one's nation, is judged by the degree to which the Lord is satisfied.
Wow. The Vaishyas should not squander their money. All money should be used for Go Seva, Vaishnava Seva, Deity Seva, building the temple, Goshala, maintaining the cows. Because the cow culture, all people will actually get nourished by the cow. If somebody is taking care of cow, the entire community will get benefit. The cow is so important. Nanda Maharaj is doing that. Varshat Indreva Jakopati Bhagnamane Vipala Gotralilat Patrena Trato Bhadranupiyata.
O Sabar Vidura, King Indra, his honor having been insulted, poured water instantly on Vrindavana, and thus the inhabitants of Vraja, the land of cows, were greatly distressed. But the compassionate Lord Krishna saved them from danger with his pastime umbrella, the Govardhan hill.
Wow. Sharad Shikair Sharad Shikair Mushtam Manayan Rajani Mukam Gayan Kalapagam Reme Strinam Mandala Mandala.
Translation. In the third season of the year, the Lord enjoyed as the central beauty of the assembly of women by attracting them with his pleasing songs in an autumn night brightened by moonshine. Purport. Before leaving the land of cows, Vrindavan, the Lord pleased his young girlfriend, the transcendental gopis, in his Rasalila pastime. Here, Uddhava stops his description of the Lord's activity. The hence, the Bhaktivedanta purport of third canto, second chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Remembrance of Lord.
बैकग्राउंड में आवाज आ रहा है अभी निकाल दो शेयरिंग जय so now here Uddhava will stop the description of the Lord's pastime in Vrindavan. He ended on the most glorious Panchadhyaya, the chapters which describe the gopis pastime with Lord Krishna. Then he went into trance. Then again he comes out and he speaks about Lord's pastimes out of Vrindavan. And at the end he will talk about Lord Krishna's disciplines. So anytime there is an opportunity to speak of the Lord, the devotees constantly speak. Matchitta madgata prana bodhayant paraspara kathayanta chama nityam pushyanti cha aramanti. So tomorrow also we can hear, discuss about the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who appeared in order to bestow the conditioned source, Krishna Prem, to the Parampara system, not independently, through Acharya. Otherwise, it is not possible. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa patitanam Vaishnava. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada.
Namaha.
So we have successfully completed this time 2 chapters by reading purports. So I also got nourishment. So I thank all the devotees for giving me opportunity to read this Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada purport. So I also get nourished. If I have spoken anything which is not in the Siddhanta of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shisha Parampara, you neglect it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Baba.
Please keep coming and blessing us.
Name.
We very
It is
much
opportunity for me to
use your
read
classes.
more and more.
Prabhuji, please come for next unit also.
No, now I am little busy. This 30 and 31st, I have to go to Bijapur, Bagalkot. After that, from 1st April to 25th April is our leads. From 26, 27, 28, we have to have the children camp in Villa. All the children of this small children here, na? That is BVP, Madhav batch, Narayan batch. So this whole April month is also fully. But I will tell Sakshi Chitrakas, I will when I am free. Okay?
Yes,
Hare.
yes. Hare Krishna.
You want
Hare
to
Krishna.
continue?
Thank you, sir.
You continue. Huh?
Yes,
Some
yes.
exam.
Okay, okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
You can stop recording. Hare Krishna, we can end. Next Sunday we'll have an exam.
And Saturday will be normal class, na Prabhuji?
Yes. I don't know who will be taking. So we will.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Mother, you can, Anand Mondru, you can end the class, your host.
Okay, Prabhuji.